Mounting concerns over Israel's planned offensive into Gaza's southern city of Rafah. The United Nations warning such an incursion could amount to slaughter, jeopardizing humanitarian operations across the entire strip. The World Health Organization also making clear that its contingency plans in the event of an invasion would serve as no more than, quote, a band-aid for casualties. At least 6 people have died, including children, in the latest round of airstrikes targeting the city. More than 1 million Palestinians are sheltering in Rafah. Even so, the Israeli Prime Minister is repeating his vow to retake that city, describing it as the final stronghold for Hamas in Gaza. As the war nears its 7-month mark, all eyes are on Egypt's capital, Cairo, where ceasefire efforts appear to be gathering pace. Hamas says it is sending a delegation there for talks. The group's chief has affirmed it is studying Israel's latest truce proposal with, quote, a positive spirit. International pressure to secure a lasting end to the conflict in Gaza is growing. Turkey says it will not resume trade with Israel until a permanent ceasefire is achieved, along with the unhindered flow of humanitarian aid into the region. It's the first of Israel's key trade partners to halt all exports and imports over this ongoing crisis. And for more, Sarah Coates joins us live from Tel Aviv. Sarah, how big an impact would Turkey's move have on Israel's economy and its war machine? Is it large enough to be influential?
Hello there, Wei Su. Well, this will undoubtedly hurt, with trade between the two countries worth almost $7 billion in 2023. Now, Turkey was Israel's 5th biggest source of imports last year, while Israel was Turkey's 13th biggest export market. So this is certainly set to hurt Ankara too. Now, Israel's foreign minister, Israel Katz, is now slamming President Erdogan. He's likening him to a dictator, saying that he's disregarding the interests of the Turkish people, Turkish business people, and also international trade agreements. Now, we do need to remember that relations between the two countries have really been on the decline for the last few decades and are really growing worse since this war in Gaza is continuing to rage on. Tayyip Erdogan has been referring to Benjamin Netanyahu as Hitler, calling him the butcher of Gaza, while we heard Netanyahu come out a little earlier this year saying that Erdogan basically has no right to say any of this, saying that he should be the last person to preach morality. Wei Su.
Sarah, we're seeing reports of another Israeli hostage being killed in Gaza. Might this death cast a shadow on negotiations for a ceasefire, temporary ceasefire in Gaza, which are, as we've been saying the last few days, pretty much at a critical point?
Well, this was a 49-year-old man. Authorities here believe that he was actually killed on October 7 when he was living down in these southern communities, in these kibbutzes. He was taken into Gaza, they believe, as a body. So what this is really doing, Wei Su, is creating a greater urgency among the Israeli public to demand that a hostage deal be done now to bring these captives home, with more and more deaths really being reported now on a weekly basis. Now, people here are really waiting for an answer from Hamas, whether it'll be a yes or whether it'll be a no to this latest hostage and ceasefire proposal that is on the table. We can expect an answer from Hamas potentially in the coming hours or in the coming days in Cairo. Now, it's also important to add that the Israeli War Cabinet, they met late last night to discuss this potential deal, whether it would be a no, maybe from Hamas. There is a lot of speculation here in Israel that it will come to that. And they also discussed that if indeed this happens and Hamas says no to this current proposal, that this timeline of this Rafah operation, which is widely feared by the international community, that this was also discussed by the international community. But once again, certainly a lot of pushback from the international community, and this is certainly something that we've heard from the United States that it doesn't want to see going ahead. Still no clear or credible plan by the Israelis as to how they intend on getting these more than 1.3 million internally displaced Palestinians out of Rafah. Wesu.
That's Sarah Coates reporting live there from Tel Aviv.